Japspeed HQ. We're just going to do a little video to run through your season. I mean, you've been drifting now for over 10 years competitively. So to anyone who doesn't know you, who is Matt Carter?
Well, yeah, as you say, drifting for 12 years now competitively, 10-year anniversary this year. I started off like most lads, max power days into my cars, sound systems, fiberglass, you know, filled out boot and everything. But yeah, then got myself a Sierra back in the day, Japspeed Turbo XR4i. One of my mates got an S14 and kind of looked in the magazines and saw this thing called drifting and thought, oh, that looks kind of handy, looks fun. So swapped out the Sierra, got an S13. Went to drift days, had some fun, and yeah, 2 years later started competing in my S14 that I imported from Japan. I was in that for 5 years competitively, running for Team Falcon UK, Falcon Tyre. I was running with them for 6 years. Then built R32 Skyline, that's my current car now. We've been building the car up over the last 5 years, you know, modifying it year on year, making it better and better each year. Obviously come over to you guys at Team Japspeed, Max's Tyres, and yeah, brilliant.
So there's loads of motorsports in the world, so why did you choose drifting to compete with them?
You know what, like any kid used to play the PlayStation, Colin McRae Rally, you know, always into cars, always wanted to be in motorsport racing. My granddad was brought up in motorsport, used to race go-karts and used to do mechanics on race cars and race teams. But the budget was never there for me to go and do a motorsport, anyone I wanted. It wasn't until I was around 20 years of age where I found out about drifting, and back then it was really cheap to get into, you know. And once I tried it once, I think like a lot of other people who have actually tried drifting or been out in a car, you get hooked. It's like a drug. It's like, I can't explain it, but when you go sideways, it's just something happens and you feel, I don't know, it's just that adrenaline rush, and you know, everything's good within drifting. It's motorsport where everyone's almost a family, you know. If I was to break something and another team was to break something, you'd swap parts to get that person on track, even if you were battling that driver. You know, it's a real friendly environment and love being in it.
So how's the 2017 drift season gone for you?
Fantastic, you know, what more could I ask for? First place in the championship. The car ran perfectly throughout the year. We had some comings together with the walls from end of last season, where we've done a lot of work on the car already, making it lighter, etc, etc. We had to cut the rear end off and put a one-piece fiberglass rear end on, which made it lighter also. David Egan brought in a whole new events package, new tracks, walls, high speed, lots of adrenaline rush, you know, excitement, and more of a extreme sport side to it. So yeah, brilliant year.
So Max has brought us out a brand new tyre for this year, the VR1 265. What did you think of it?
Fantastic tyre. I've never used a proper motorsport tyre in drifting before. Throughout all the years I've always been on a road tyre or something a bit closer to a full semi-slick, but this tyre is a proper semi-slick tyre. Same as what Ryan Turk was running, the same compound as he was running in the Formula Drift Championship. And yeah, I mean, come wet or dry, really fantastic grip levels. We could lower the tyre pressures quite low, and because of the sidewalls nice and chunky, you know, perfect. No side roll, just perfect height and grip the whole time.
What was your favourite moment in the BBC this year?
Obviously winning the championship, you know. I think the last time I won was 2011, so yeah, I mean, winning the championship is definitely the greatest moment, but it was just the last 3 years particular has been so frustrating, you know, trying to keep up with everybody on these new semi-slick tyres that keep on coming out, and to be on a semi-slick tyre finally after all these years was just brilliant for me. I could push the car and myself to limits I've never been before.
So you won quite a few awards at the BDC Award Ceremony this year. You got the award for winning, you got the award for our second place in the Team Instructors, you got the award for third place in the Super Series, you got Driver's Driver of the Year award, and you got Best Battle of the Year award. Out of all of those, Which was your favourite award?
To me, it's got to have been Driver's Driver of the Year. You know, it's when they called that one out, it was quite special actually, because to be a Driver's Driver of the Year, you know, it's I'm hoping that's down to because I never play games. I'm always flat out. I always go balls to the wall. You know, crash, you win, you win. Happy days.
One of the awards you won this year was Best Battle of the Year. What battle was that referring to?
That was referring to round one, me and Ollie Evans. Ollie Evans had come up from Drift Cup, stormed his way through semi-pro on the day, got to the final in pro. Fantastic achievement for him. We met him there in the final battle, and yeah, what a battle it was. It was door on door, couple of nudges if I remember here and there. Yeah, brilliant way to end round one. But I think my personal battles throughout the year and favourite battle was probably Martin Richards. Me and Martin Richards go back a long way and been good friends for a long time, but it's very rare that you kind of get to battle someone 5 times like we did throughout the year. But yeah, we kind of grew to know each other's driving, and we're both flat out drivers. We don't play games or nothing, so it made for some really fun battles throughout the year, so I think that was probably my best one.
In a recent video, it was claimed that your victories this year were purely down to the tyres. Do you agree with that statement?
Of course I don't know. I mean, the new Maxes was a massive help, obviously. But no, of course it weren't duly down to that tyre, you know. Take the two teams, 2 cars in question. We both run R32 Skylines, but there's a hell of a difference in these cars, you know. My car, Garage D's been building it with me now for 5 years, and we've improved on that car over the 5 years. I mean, it's got near on 900 horsepower, we've got a Quaife sequential gearbox, you know, it's anti-lag, everything. It's a fully stripped down race car. I mean, you take the body shell and everything off of it, there's not a lot left of my car now. She weighs in roughly 1100 kilos. So she's pretty light and pretty fast. You take the other team's car, that car was built I think maybe 6 years ago now, for a championship which was a total different championship back then. You know, you could come in with a fast road car like this car maybe said to be. So I think, you know, there's obviously always going to be a sore loser in the game, but you know, I just hope that the driver who's got that car now can get to it this year, cut a load of weight out of it, get a bit more power in it, and yeah, he should be really competitive, and he's a brilliant driver. See what happens next year.
As we are well aware, there's been claims this year, particularly towards the end of the season, that we were running illegal tyres, and even people saying that we were running a 285 tyre with 265 stamps on the side. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, it's all allegations. The tyres were taken off by BDC officials, they've been measured, they've been deemed legal to run in the championship. The allegation was especially aimed towards me, that I was running a tyre size bigger than everybody else in the championship. I mean, load of bollocks. Even if I was offered the opportunity to do it, I wouldn't do it, and I think a lot of people in the championship know that, and I'm hoping that's kind of why I got the Driver's Driver of the Year award. Going into a motorsport tyre to a road tyre, the measurements are totally different in these tyres, but you know, drifting's a motorsport, a highly competitive motorsport now, and if you want to be in the fight, bring a motorsport tyre.
You're now the only UK driver to win the British Drift Championship twice. So moving into 2018, do you have any new goals?
I don't know really. I think we're going to stay in drifting, obviously. I mean, I love the sport. We may try a dab hand at something else maybe. Don't really know where we're going to end up this year, what championship. We might move around a bit to do a couple of different things. Yeah, see where 2018 takes us.
So how's the 2017 drift season gone for you?
Pretty damn well, didn't you?